Good evening, everyone. Happy holidays to you and welcome to the work session for Monday, December 12th for the Bladensburg Town Council. We are now called to order. I do want to note Councilmember Rout will be joining a little bit later in the meeting, but did want to let you all know that she is planning to join. She just had a schedule conflict right at 5:30, so we'll see her shortly. We'll move on with the agenda with item number 2, which is the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Brown. Is there a second?
A second.
Seconded by Councilmember Blunt. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye.
Aye.
Any nays? The ayes have it. Thank you so much. The next item is the approval of the November 14th work session minutes. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Blunt. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember McBride. Any corrections, edits, or discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? The ayes have it. Thank you so much. We do not have any appearances scheduled for today, so we'll move right on to old business, beginning with Bostwick House update by Mr. Charnovich, our interim town administrator and town clerk.
Thank you, Mayor James. So a refresher for everyone from last meeting, and also those who may not have seen the last month's meeting. At last month's meeting, we Mr. Parker, Sam Parker from Amon Trust, attended our council meeting and gave a update on 2 projects that have been in the planning phases for the Bostwick House now. The repair of the buttress, as well as some archaeological work that has to happen in conjunction with the buttress work. And at last month's meeting, the town council voted to authorize funding in a total amount of approximately $117,000 for these 2 projects. Due to the fact that I take a step back, Amon Trust was part of the bid process as far as obtaining the bids with an architect, and the bids came in and the funding was over what they anticipated. So they requested that the town of Bladensburg help and assist to help pay for these 2 projects. So in addition, tonight we have on the regular meeting, there'll be an ordinance amendment that will include that particular funding allocation. So since last meeting, I've been in touch with Sam on the archaeological part of it. For just as a refresher, the archaeological piece needs to be done prior to the buttress work, and I'll be continuing to work with them on the administrative part of this, the contractual part, and everything like that to make sure that the project gets completed. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you for that update, Mr. Charnovich. Any questions for him at this time? I know we did spend a good amount of time last meeting discussing it, but again, the budget ordinance will be read in the 7 o'clock meeting for today. The next item, Mr. Charnovich, is.
I'm sorry, I was trying to raise my
Councilmember.
hand. Just real quick, I just like for Mr. Charnovich when he talk about the funding, but it is with reimbursement to some reimbursements to the town.
Yeah, great point, Councilmember Brown. The archaeological piece will be reimbursed. So to be a little more specific on that, approximately $19,000 of that is the archaeological work that I think Amon Trust received a grant for, and we're fronting that cost, which will be reimbursed to the town. That answer your question?
Great, thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Charnovich, definitely. And next, we want to move forward with the second item under old business, which is the PEPCO pilot program for our EV charging stations.
Thank you, Mayor. The council and everyone should be excited to hear, I guess, that this project is almost completed and finally coming to fruition after quite a while. Glad that it's moving forward. If you at the town hall, in fact, the stations have been installed. They are not charged and ready to be used yet. And last I heard, the 57th Avenue site was under construction. Maybe I should take a step back. Sorry, since we have the 10 minutes. So for those who may be watching the meeting, there are two sites where Bladensburg is joining PEPCO for pilot program for electric charging stations for vehicles. One is in our town hall parking lot, and the other one is on 57th Avenue by the community center. And the one has been completed, the actual construction, and then I think that the one on 57th Ave is either close to being done or now is done. So that's where that's at. So it's a great environmental initiative that Bladensburg decided to take on for that. It's the way of the future. So happy to report on that. And any questions or comments? I
Thank
can
you.
take them.
Yeah, thank you for that update, Mr. Charnovich. And of course, once they are complete, would love to work with the council on their schedules and staff to have a ribbon cutting. And then also just to clarify, so there will be 2 on the 57th Avenue site and 3 at the town hall site, with one of the 3 being the fast charging stations. So just want to make sure, I know it's been a while since we had PEPCO come and share about the specific charger types that we'll have. So just wanted to put that refresher out there. Councilmember Brown, you had a question or comment?
Yes, just real quick. And the charging, will this be open, the charging stations be open to all town residents or just people, just drivers generally?
So my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Charnovich, or members of the council who may recall, but these are open and public. So if someone is a resident, they have access to them. But if someone is passing through, let's say they're going to the new library and they stop and want to charge, they would have access to. Staff are actually working to put signs up though that actually govern the rules. So someone couldn't just leave their vehicle parked there and charging for an extended period of time. But if that doesn't help, we can, and if staff doesn't have more details, we can also circle back to our PEPCO contact for more specifics on that, Councilmember Brown. Okay, Councilmember